What's up, everybody? I'm yours truly, King Chris. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're doing random thoughts in my head, and I'm going to start off with the Amber Geiger verdict of finding her guilty and giving her 10 years in prison, which she probably would do about 5 of those years, 3 in prison, and probably 2 of probation. This trial, the end of this trial, is very concerning to me as a black male and just as black, period. The judge gives her a hug. The young man, Botham's brother, gives her a hug. Inappropriate. Once again, it shows how black men are treated and what they think and what we think as a whole, that we have to keep forgiving these Beckys for the things that they do to us, that it's okay. No, it's not okay. It's not. It's not. Then the judge gives her a hug and give her a Bible. That was totally inappropriate. Totally inappropriate. You give a murderer a hug, a racist murderer a hug. In her text messages and some of the things that she put on social media show that she was a racist. Show that she was a racist. It's not up to us to forgive her. God has to forgive her, and you let God deal with her, not us. This is sickening. This right here is sickening. And it's very hurtful and it's very disrespectful. And then throughout the whole thing, when they found her guilty, they never put her in handcuffs. What happened to the handcuffs? Like you put every other person in handcuffs when they're found guilty of murder. She returned the next day for the sentencing phase in her regular clothes. She was not dressed out. Why? Once again, here we go. Becky's privilege card. She deserves no type of sympathy for the actions that she did. Then she gets on the stand and she cries, which most likely was rehearsed. She's not sorry for what she did. What she's sorry for is that now she knows that she was about to go to jail. That's why she was crying. Because if she was sorry and she cared anything about what she did, the 2 days after she killed him, instead of her texting on the phone, she would have been in her grief feelings then. And she was not. And she was not. She was texting somebody else's husband. And then here we go again in Texas. We're back at the same thing. A white cop kills a black lady, a black auntie, playing games with her 8-year-old nephew. And the first thing everybody wants to yell, oh, officer needs more training. Officer needs more training. I'm sick of hearing that. I'm sick of them trying to justify why they're killing unarmed black people, unarmed black men, unarmed black women. I'm sick of the justification of it, that they need more training. Oh, he was scared. Once you get that scared on a job that you do, you need to no longer do it. It's no excuse for it. It's no excuse for it. And we as a whole have to stop giving these black people, giving these white murderers, these white terrorists, the permission that it's okay and that you will be forgiven. No, you will not be forgiven, because it needs to stop. This nonsense of the Amber Geiger and this judge, gives her a hug and give her a Bible and wants to tell her that she has to forgive herself because God has give her. That was not her place at all. Why are you hugging a murderer? Why are you hugging a murderer? This was not about her. It was about the young man that was sitting in his apartment eating ice cream. That's who it's about. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. You can't tell me from these text messages and all these other things and the little clips that they showed how she talked about the Martin Luther King and the little thing about people should be thankful that I don't kill them today or I didn't kill them today. All these little things. The young lady was trigger. I'm sorry, the monster, the white Becky. Yeah. Let's call her the white Becky. Yeah. She she was a damn right racist and she was trigger happy. That's what she was. Oh, and ever since the day it happened, she regretted and she this and she that. She did not regret it because if she regretted once again, 2 days later, she wouldn't have been sexing and texting again. She would have not. And you're a police officer, and then she was on a special force team or something like that. So therefore, you are trained to observe your surroundings. It's no excuse for your. It's no excuse for your for what she did. You're especially trained in that to observe your surroundings. You get out of a vehicle. You live on the third floor. You on the fourth floor, and I believe they said that the fourth floor had some type of sun ceiling or sun something where the sun beams in. And then you got this police gear in your hand. You go through these doors, and you get to this young man's door. There's a red mat. You drop your police gear. You saw the red mat. You should have realized that that the sun should have not been beaming so bright as you walk through those double doors. Here we go again. It just shows time and time after again that these white people are killing us blacks for no reason. Trayvon Martin. And they get a pat on the back that it's okay. Oh, you're forgiven for what you did. It's not up for us to forgive them. God has to forgive them. And that judge had no right of hugging a murderer. No right of giving a murderer a Bible. From what I was told, that you can request a Bible in prison. I have no sympathy at all for this monster, for this terrorist. Because that's exactly what she was, a terrorist. And then here we go again. Sunday, we're back at the same thing. This police officer gets a call. He does nothing right at all. Nothing right at all. When he got out of the vehicle, he should have went to that door. No, you go through a gate to the fence to a window and you aim to shoot and you never identified yourself. You never identified yourself. Never. And now this young lady life is gone. Once again, another black person life is gone. It's very hurting. It's a very hurting feeling inside. And then you got the young man at the trial. He gives Amber a hug, and then he says that I never want her to do jail time or anything like that. This is what society has taught us as Black people. You forgive the white people that killed us. We've been poisoned in our brains that as Black people, our life is nothing. Nothing. Nothing at all. That was a very, very, very disrespectful and hurtful thing that came out of that young man's mouth. And then you hug this murderer. That should have never been allowed in that courtroom. That was not the place for it. And she hugs him and she sobs and she this and she's that. Hey, she's not sorry for what she did. She's not. She's sorry that her ass is in prison. That's why she's sorry. This judge did no justice at all in this case. None at all. And then you give her your own. I want to give you my own personal Bible. I gave her my own personal Bible. I read the scripture with her. She said that she's going to return the Bible in 10 years to me. I had to give her a hug. I had to stay with her. I didn't want to lose her at that point. Huh? Do you hug every murderer? Do you give every murderer a Bible? Will you start giving every murderer a Bible? Will you start hugging every murderer? What are what are we worth? What is our life really worth? It seems nowadays that the police is the initiation of the KKK or something like that. That's what it seems like nowadays because they can kill Black people and justice may be served or not served, but they always get a forgive me card. Oh, it's okay. God forgives you. No, no, I don't forgive you as a Black man. It makes no sense. We can't walk down the street without us being accused of doing something if there was a crime happening up the street. Now apparently we can't even sit in our own damn house. It has to be a change. In order for that change to happen, us as Black people, we got to come together and we got to start loving on one another. We got to start respecting one another. And we got to start sticking up for one another. You can't hug a murderer and tell and say that it's okay that you didn't even want her to do jail time. Are you serious? This Becky just killed your brother, your innocent brother, intelligent young man. I don't get it, and I won't get it. It's hurtful being a Black man to know that even the death, we're still being disrespectful. We're still being disrespect. The law says that, oh, well, he's dead now, so now we got to move on. Basically, that's what they were saying. But how in the hell can we move on when this is just a continuous movement by the whites? It was nothing wrong with her training at all. It was not. You can't tell me that it was nothing wrong with her training. She did exactly what she wanted to do. She wanted to kill somebody that day. And that's what she did. Because you can't not give her the excuse of that she was confused and she didn't realize that that was not her apartment. Girl, bye. Becky, bye. Bye. That judge, I'm a Christian first and then I'm black in her interview. Wow. You're going to always be black and you're always going to be black first. As a black man, I'm always black. I'm always black first. I believe the guy that Amber killed, he was a Christian going guy too. But guess what? He was black first because that's what she saw. So when she so called walked in the wrong apartment or whatever, she saw that black man. She panicked and she shot. They never really talked about how he sung on the church choir, how he was involved into church and things like that. They didn't talk about that. But what they talked about is, oh, he smoked marijuana. They tried to throw that in there. They tried to throw that in there. Because see, he was a black male first. They didn't talk about all those things. Then they want to say how depressed she was since this trial happened, how sorry since this trial happened. Girl, you was not sorry because once again, if you were sorry 2 days later after this happened, and even if you had thought that you had went into the wrong apartment, how in the hell in the next 2 days you are sexting somebody? That's just my thoughts, my random thoughts in my head right now. That's my thoughts, my random thoughts in my head right now. What are black people? What as a black male? What are we really worth? What are we really worth? Till we meet again, God bless.